Hey guys, I'm not able to be here for class today, so you're going to watch this video on Unit 3, Learning Target Number 5, Proportions. Okay, the materials you need a pencil, you need the notes for proportions, you need a calculator, and if you're using a laptop, you need headphones. So do not continue with this video until you have these materials at your desk. So let's pause the video to make sure everybody has these materials. Okay, so the definition we're going to start off with is dealing with ratios. Proportions, we have two relationships that are equivalent, and if they are, then they form a proportion. So this word equivalent is really important. You want to make sure you circle that. So a specific relationship we will be talking about is called a ratio. So make sure you put a box around the word ratio. And a ratio shows the sizes of two or more values. And there's three different ways a ratio can be shown or expressed. So make sure you circle 3, because there's 3 different ways. So the first example, if there is 1 boy and there are 3 girls, you can write the ratio. Make sure you circle that word ratio. And there's 3 ways we can express this. The word 2, if you want to underline the word 2, the word 2 goes with ratio. So 1 boy to 3 girls. This colon here, so go ahead and circle that colon. That expresses a ratio as well, 1 to 3. And this fraction bar here, we know fraction bar goes for division, and it's also used to represent a ratio. So we've got 1 boy to the 3 girls, and that fraction bar represents that. So if there's any questions, we need to pause the video so that we can ask our questions now. So now it's your turn. We've got some strawberries and we've got some oranges. What is the ratio of the strawberries? And we see that word 2, so we need to think, what does the word 2 go with? So we're going to stop the video and somebody needs to tell everybody what the word 2 goes with. So the word 2 goes with ratio. So go ahead and circle that word 2. And we're comparing it to the oranges. So go ahead and fill in the boxes so that we've got strawberries, to the oranges. So go ahead and try that now. So you should have 5. There's 5 strawberries to the 3 oranges. And we also have 5 over 3. They mean the same thing. They both express a ratio. So go ahead and pause the video. And now we want oranges to strawberries. So what is the ratio of oranges to strawberries? Again, we can express it with a colon. We can express it with a fraction bar. And the word 2 here. They all mean ratio. So go ahead and try that on your own, and then we'll check it with my work. So now we've got 3 colon 5, or 3 using that fraction bar 5. So either way, we've got 3 oranges, and we're comparing it to the 5 strawberries. So if there are any questions, let's pause the video, and if not, we'll move on to the next slide. So we were talking about the word equivalent, but what really does equivalent mean? Well, equivalent, the word equivalent means same or equal. And I know you guys have heard that word same or equal. So equivalent also means same or equal. So we've got an example. If we've got 2 ratios, and 2 ratios just mean fractions. So here's a ratio, and we also have a ratio right here. Our 2 fractions. We need to show that they are equal or that they're equivalent. So if they're equal, then the ratios will form a proportion. So there's 3 ways we can show this, and the first way we're going to try is just to simplify the fractions, and when you simplify them, if they're the same, that means they're equal, and that means the ratios form a proportion. So I'm going to show it first. So the first ratio, 3/6, that reduces to the fraction 1/2. And we also have 4/8, and that reduces in simplest form to the fraction 1/2 as well. So since the fraction 1/2 is equal to 1/2, or the 2 ratios, they are equal to each other, so that means the 2 ratios form a proportion. So again, the 2 ratios form a proportion because when we simplify their fractions, they're the same amount. Another way to show that the ratios are proportions is to turn them both into decimals. When you do that, if their decimal conversions are the same, that also means that the ratios form a proportion. So 3/6 as a decimal is 0.5, and 4/8 as a decimal is also 0.5. Therefore, the ratios form a proportion. So the 2 ratios form a proportion, and we don't want to move on until we make sure that everybody has this information written down. So let's go ahead and pause to make sure that everybody has done so. Once everybody has, we can play the video again. The third method we can use to see if the ratios form a proportion is to set the ratios equal to each other, which I have done so right now. Once we have them equal to each other, we need to see if their cross products are equal. Cross products means to cross multiply. So we have to multiply 3 times 8. And we have to set it equal to the cross product of 6 times 4. So let's pause the video to make sure everybody has done so. Okay, so we cross multiplied and we got 24 equals 24 because 8 times 3 is 24. And 6 times 4 is also equal to 24. Now we're going to stop the video, and we'll have to start it over on the next video when we'll finish this problem.